Well, hello everyone. Starting just a minute early, just to make sure that everyone has a chance to hop on and join us. This is Ginger, by the way. I am getting my equipment all set up and making sure that everything is working. If you can hear me, I'd love a thumbs up just to make sure things are good. I've got a new camera I'm trying this time, so I want to make sure that's working good. Happy Wednesday. All right, I see the thumbs up. All right, Angel, you're first. And Beverly, all right. Welcome, ladies. It is now 7 o'clock. We're getting ready to get going here. This is the launch of the Fall Fun specialty kit, as well as our new Shaped Shaker Kit Autumn Air. And I'm going to give you all a little wave here. Hopefully that camera cooperates. Like I said, trying a new camera tonight. I was frustrated with the white balance of my previous camera, so we'll see if this one does better. So far, so good. All right, happy Wednesday, Shannon. Welcome, everybody. We'll let people gather for just a minute, and then we'll go ahead and jump right in. In case, while we're waiting, in case you don't know much about me, I am Ginger Williams. I am the lead art director for Queen & Company. That means I have the fun of designing most of our products, and then showing you how to use them. And I don't know, I have all kinds of fun with my job. I do lots of different things. I also am the product photographer. Let me say that again, product photographer, a few other things like that. So I have a few fun roles here at Queen & Company. It's a dream job. I absolutely love it. Can't believe I get to do it as a day job. It's a pretty awesome opportunity. All right, looks like most people are hopping on. Let me take you over to my desktop. We're going to go over just one little bit of housekeeping. Let's see here. Pull up some photos here. Let's see, there is the main kit. But first, let's talk about what's happening with the launch. So, as usual, Wendy always has something fun coming up for the launch of our kits. And this time she's got a wonderful set of free with purchase items. So if you see something you like tonight and decide to pick it up, if you do hit that $100 threshold, then you also get a chance to add something fun tonight. We have a cardstock bundle. This is great. Colors that coordinate well with our pattern papers and its texture. It's a great cardstock bundle. We also have the baby paper pad bundles, which are lots of fun, great colors in those. The leaf-shaped card set. So if you're looking for something else fallish or autumnish to go with your kits tonight, another great option. And then also these pearls are also another great option to go with the kits that we're launching tonight. You can never have enough pearls, and this set of colors is a fabulous addition to lots of things, including tonight's kits. Also, if you're more in the Christmas spirit or the holiday spirit, we have the present shaped card kit or the recently released Smile card kit. So if you hit that $100 purchase before taxes, not using rewards, not using discount codes, and it's before your shipping and all that, then you have a chance to pick up a free with purchase item. Okay, so first up tonight, we are going to be talking about the Fall Fun Kit. This is the large kit in this particular set of releases. And let me take you to my desk. Well, first, take a look at what you see here. You can see there's a paper pad, there's a stamp set, there is 3 sheets of our foam shakers, as well as the acetate covers that match them. And I'll get into more detail about what that is later if you're new, as well as a full set of coordinating pearl shaker toppings, and then a whole array of dies. I don't even know how many that is. It's a lot. All of our kits have a lot. Let's take a closer look at some of the items in the kit, though. First up, let's look at the paper pad real fast. Paper pads are some of my particular favorites. I'm not sure why, they just are, because they add so much to a kit. I mean, you can have all your shapes designed, and you should see the artwork when we send it off to actually be created. It's boring. It's black and white, it's line art, it's not fabulous and fun like we see once we actually get to use it. But the paper pads, you know, they start out colorful from beginning to end. So here's the Fall Fun paper pad. It comes in the Fall Fun kit. You can also pick up a bundle of additional paper pads. So if you want more pattern paper as well as the coordinating solids, which I really love the coordinating solids, used it a whole lot in my cards tonight, then that is available also as an add-on. But here in the Fall Fun kit, or Fall Fun paper pad in the kit, we've got some polka dots, We've got lots. I always have wonderful tone-on tones to make it so they coordinate with those patterns. But I love, love, love. Can't see if it'll focus well, hopefully. There we go. Some really fun fall patterns and really fun petite sizes. You know, we're finding, oh, it's already breaking apart because I've already pulled papers out of it. I'm finding that with our shakers being so large that, you know, they really do steal the show, right? The shakers. And so you really want a nice petite pattern to be able to use on a card so that it's not so overwhelming to have so much going on visually. So I really love petite patterns, and you'll see this one is just full of those fun tone-on tones as well as some fun petites in a couple different varieties. This one's really fun because it has those tea kettles in there, mushrooms and leaves, things that coordinate real well with the shapes in the kit, which we'll go through also in just a moment. So here's another one of those fun petite patterns, leaves and all kinds of fall things. So really fun set of color varieties in those fun fall jewel tones, autumn jewel tones. A couple of fun little additional supporting papers in there. So that is a paper pad. And before we go into the stamp set, let me show you, as always, you do get a die guide. And let's see if we can get that to focus better. There we go. These are the shapes in the kit. And this is the die guide that is also included in the kit. But you can see we've got our fun little autumn girl, we've got our pumpkin patch sign, a trio of gourds, and some fun little mushrooms, our hay wagon, and our cornucopia. The die guide here shows you how to put everything together. Some of them are real simple, like our mushrooms. Cornucopia is real easy, with also some fun supporting dies that kind of mix and match with some of these other shapes. So you can see you've got your apple, you've got your hay bale, which I really love the hay bale, where it is, there it is. And your pumpkins in 2 different fun sizes, as well as little like corn, which you could cut out in different papers to make it more like Indian corn. Oh, I'm off camera again. So all kinds of fun little, and I love this one too. You've got this little gourd shape too. So fun little accent dies also in this kit, as well as the shaker shapes. So those are the shapes. Let's move this pattern paper over and let's look at the stamp set real fast. Okay, so as always, we have our fun set of punny sentiments that match up with the shapes in the kit. Have a simply gorgeous day or birthday. I am so thankful for you. So just a simple fall Thanksgiving type of option. Hope your day is gorgeous. So lots of fun punny sentiments to go with those gourds. Let's give them pumpkin to talk about. Ha ha ha. Love that one. Make a cute anniversary type of card maybe, as well as, well, you could use it for a couple different things, but that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. Sending fall wishes your way. So, have so much fun on your birthday. So that goes with the mushrooms. Let's see, where's the mushrooms? So you can see we have a couple of fun different options for the mushrooms. This is one of my favorites too, just a fun classic fall one. Bonfire, s'mores, apples, sweaters, hay rides, hello fall. Happy autumn, leaves are falling, autumn is calling. Sending you moosh love like we just saw. Let us be thankful, many thanks, so grateful for a friend like you. Wishing you pumpkin spice and all things nice this fall. Let's snuggle, I love that one too. You are the pumpkin to my spice. Happy anniversary. That can be mixed in with some of the other sentiments we just showed you. And thank you so much. So lots of fun options to give you variety in usefulness of your kit. You can see I've got mine stored in a 6x6 iris case. And as you probably have already seen, I like to bag up my dies. So each of the shapes is bagged up in its own little baggie, as well as the accent dies have their own little baggie. I've also got the outline dies mixed in there. Those are a separate purchase, but really useful if you can afford to add them to your purchase. They're definitely great. Here is a look at the foam sheets that come in the kit. You can see that they are pre-cut, ready to, let me back that out just a little bit. I'm holding it, there we go, a little better. Holding it too close. So you get your pre-cut acetate covers and your foam pieces, which you just pop out and peel and stick. So making shakers easy as pie. And then of course, let me move this aside. Here's a closer look at all the pearls that are in the kit. I already used up a lot of the other pearls, and thankfully I had a backup. So I do encourage you, if you get a chance to add more, great. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the the Fall Fun kit is. Let me show you a couple of examples besides the ones here on my desk, made from our design team. So you've seen some from me already, but there is a look at the Fall Girl all assembled. I love that she has that fun little sweater. Or not sweater, scarf. There we go. She has a sweater too. It's in behind her dress there, but little scarf that makes fun detail. Those petite patterns are so small, you can even cut out one for her scarf. Here's another look at how Greta used our Fall Girl. I love her hat, and she even has these fun little cute ties for her braids. So she's got a lot of fun little accents that you can choose to leave off or put on depending on how much time you want to put into making her. She's a lot like our costume cuties in our recent Halloween kit, but also a little different too. So she's got her own little personality. Similar size though. If you're thinking, can I mix and match? Yeah, you probably could. All right, and also here's a closer look at the cornucopia shape. This one is one of my favorites. I love mixing all of those accent dyes in. The apple, the pumpkin, the gourd, the corn. This is a maple leaf that I've kind of got sticking out underneath. Greta did a beautiful one similar to, where she mixed in all those accent dyes as well. Make it a fun Thanksgiving card. And also here's a closer look at the hay wagon. Those same accent dyes just really apply across the board in this kit. And you can have lots of fun with the pumpkins in all different colors. The pattern papers give you all those great jewel tones in the teal and the kind of the burnt orangish colors. So all those fun gourd and pumpkin type colors are in that paper pad. Here's a look at the mushrooms when they're assembled. There are two of them, one taller than the other. They look great together or separate. I did both of them as shakers, but here you can see how Greta did it, where she just used one as a shaker and one not. That way it's a little easier to layer them. When I put these two together, I clipped the edge of this mushroom off just a little bit so I could butt them up next to each other. I didn't want to disrupt the shaker part, but a simple little clip on the corner there made it easy to line those two up next to each other. I love how the stems kind of give you a look as if we're looking up at them a little bit, so you can see the bottom of your mushroom a little bit. So something different, a little different angle on it that I really like. That way you can see the underside of your mushroom just a touch. All right, and here's a look at that trio of gourds. And I've got plenty of little flower accents from, well, this one's from the Fall Foundations, and these are from the Flower Foundations. And here's Greta's take on the pumpkin patch sign. I love, again, these accents are so cute. I love the hay bale. It's one of my favorite new dyes. It goes so well also with the Autumn Air kit, all these accents. So if you're picking up both kits tonight, I'll show you in a little bit how fun it is to have some of these other accent dyes mixed in with them. There's my take on the pumpkin patch. You can see we both had fun pulling in all of those accent dyes. And then, of course, you got to have some flowers on a fall card. Again, those are from the Fall Foundations. Okay, so that one is the Fall Fun Kit. Now, let's take a little closer look at what is in Autumn Air. So there is a look at what it is. So I told you it's kind of boring without the pattern papers. It's all just line art. Well, the pattern papers, of course, make them come absolutely alive. So let me take you over to look at what's in this kit a little closer up. Here we are. Okay, so let me move these out of the way. These are from Fall Fun. Now, I'm recommending that you use the Fall Fun paper pad with this particular kit, with the Autumn Air kit. But of course, we have other fun, Happy Harvest paper pad, Autumn Splendor paper pad. We have a few other fun ones out there. I think the one that came in special delivery, if I can remember what that one's called. If you have other of our paper pads, so those will also look great with this. But let's pull up what's in this kit. I store my shaped shaker kits a little differently. I don't need the full 6x6 iris because there's no pattern paper per se, but you can see you get the same thing as in the other kit. You will get 3 sheets of your foam shakers. You get a little bit smaller stamp set. This one is a 3x4 stamp set. The other one has a 4x6 stamp set, but still lots of fun options in here. We have Sunflower Kisses, down a little, Sunflower Kisses and Harvest Wishes. It's time for Fall Breeze and Autumn Leaves. You are the apple of my eye. Thanks for your kindness. I hope you are feeling better. That's a great one for, just cheering someone up if they're not doing well, if they've had surgery or an accident. Sending you cozy birthday wishes. Fall is proof that change is beautiful. Autumn greetings. Happy fall, y'all. Okay, I live in Texas, so maybe it won't apply to everybody, but hopefully there's some of you out there who will find that one fun. If not, we have autumn greetings for you, plenty of other options, but also wishing you an absolutely perfect day. I know all of you Southern crafters, you'll understand why we love that and had to have it. It only took a little space, squeeze in there. Maybe you have a Southern friend if you're not from the South. Let me show you the shapes. I should have done that first. Here are the shapes in this particular kit. We've got, let me make sure I'm on camera. Like I said, new camera, I'm still learning the ins and outs. We've got the new silo shaker with the barn accent. We've got the windmill. We have this gorgeous new, and probably my favorite of all of them, the milk can. Look how pretty that is. I actually have a milk can, decorative milk can on my front porch, so it just reminded me of that, and I love to fussy it up for the different holidays. So this one includes a whole set, again, of accent dies. Here you can see our botanical accents. Several different options here that you can mix and match to fill up your milk can with a fun fall arrangement. And of course we have our sliced apple. Now we've done apples before, but this one's a little different. This is a sliced apple, so you can make it look like it's been cut in half. And as you can see, we're recommending that you take those botanical accents and mix and match them in with the other shapes so that you can make them, a little fancier. Depends on who you're sending it to. Let's see. We also have a couple of fun accents that we're recommending with this kit too. These are our fun fall flower. These are little clay slices that are super cute and look amazing in these cards. Here's one of the cards that I did with this kit, and you can see I used those in there. There you go. Isn't that pretty in there? So I mixed in a few other shaker items in there too, but I loved having the fall flowers in my little barn silo. The barn is like close to my heart right now because I have a special needs son. You've maybe heard me talk about him before, but he just recently decided he's going to help or going to raise a sheep for his FFA project. He's in FFA this year, and just this past week we became a sheep family, and we're having lots of fun learning the ins and outs of sheep raising. So if anybody else has had experience with that, if you have any tips and tricks, we could use them. I'm a suburban girl, a city girl. We're learning all the things. It's special. But anyways, the barn, it reminds me of what we're up to this year. So soft spot in my heart for the barn. And it's really cute with that silo. And of course, you can also mix and match it with the windmill in this particular kit. And so that barn kind of does double duty there as well. Okay, and it actually feels like fall around here. How about for the rest of you? I think today is like the first day we finally had a cool front here in Texas come and cool us off. Let me show you some of the great work Marianne did with this kit. Let me transfer you over to my pictures again. Marianne did beautiful work with this kit. Take a look at her fall arrangement. Isn't that pretty? All those little botanical accents look amazing. And she did a whole bunch of them. So, maybe I should show you those up close too. Let me go back over here. Let me show you the botanical accents in the dies, because they can be fun to see up close because you get a bunch of them and they're fun. I especially love this fun kind of like grain or wheat dye. Isn't that pretty? A new accent. We've never done anything like that before. You also have a branch, but this is different than branches we've done in the past. This one, instead of being more like a tree branch, is almost more like a bush, and it has a matching set of dies. Well, they're connected, but these little dies here are like berries. Kind of hard to see. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so little like berries. So they go on the different little points of your branch to give you all those little berries on a branch, and of course some flowers that are connected just to help make sure you don't lose them. You also have a fun little set of leaves. Come on, focus. I promise I will learn the ins and outs of this camera eventually. There we go. Leaves. And this one's fun, kind of like a little sprig of little greenery. Like a baby's breath almost. And then you have another flower set here, just to give you more choices. So those are those fun little botanical accents. Lots of options. And I love, love, love what Marianne did on her card with them. Isn't it so pretty? Go back to that. Okay. Oh, good. I'm not the only one who's finally getting fall. 100 degrees in Northern California, Diane. Whew. Yeah. And Florida's cooling off. Good. Okay. Then yes, it was perfect timing to launch this kit then. We're not getting fall all over. Okay. Let's see here. What do we have next? So here is Marianne's take on the sliced apples in the kit. She did one not sliced, sticking out behind. I'm going to do an example of that later on tonight too. And then her sliced apple, you can see her little seed dies here. She filled hers full of red, of course, but you can see the little seed dies and the fun little stem die that are included with that particular shape. Beautiful card. And then here's a closer look at how the windmill looks all assembled. So you can see you have your shaker part behind in the support of the actual windmill with your blades free. Those of you who want to get creative could potentially even make it spin, depending on how you want to assemble it. And then you get the fun, base to your windmill and things, but a fun way to put together a windmill. And like I said, it looks great with the barn too. And then here's Marianne's take on the barn and the silo too. Really cute. I love how she has her sentiment shooting down from the clouds sideways. That's really cute. And I love the bubbles she put on her clouds too. Okay, so that is it for all of your different shapes in that kit. And like I mentioned before, there are a bunch of add-ons. We went through the flowers, but you also might want to think about adding your additional foam sheets. Those are available for both kits to be able to have extras. You can get extras of the toppings, and then there also is a Get It All bundle, which includes both kits, both the Fall Fun and the Autumn Air, as well as a full extra set of paper. So the original kit just has the pattern paper, but if you get the Get It All bundle or Want It All bundle, then you'll also get, made it smaller, sorry. You'll also get an additional pattern paper pad and the solids, as well as as well as the outline dies and additional toppings. So if you want additional foam, you can add that separately. Okay. So let me go back to my desk and let's have a little fun play. Well, actually, okay. Anyone want to see my son's lamb real fast? It's going to take me just a minute to get my supplies out. But maybe just real fast, just because I'm a proud mama now. Like I said, my special needs son is doing something really unique and different. And since we're talking about fall and barns, let me introduce you real fast to my son's lamb. This is my son Spencer and his lamb Popcorn. He named it Popcorn, and we're excited to see where this takes us. So anyways, little personal indulgent moment. My daughter is also helping raise the lamb since Spencer has some special needs. It's nice to have a little extra help. We're trying to explain that the lamb goes to market in February. It's a short-term arrangement, and my daughter promised not to get attached. And she says, "No problem, Mom. I know it's not a pet. No problem." And then, of course, day 2, here we go. She's taking selfies with her new BFF. So February might be just a little rough, but then I'll be done going to the barn every day. So, okay, sorry for the personal moment, but like I said, something new and exciting around here that reminds me of this kit. Okay, so let's make a card together. Oh, actually, before I do that, those of you that are hanging out with me tonight, I have something for you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I see 131 of you currently on. I have a reward for you for coming, because of course you can buy the kits and see what's on the website, but I love it when you hang out with me. Will Popcorn be a show goat? Popcorn is a show lamb, where we will learn a little something about showing Beverly. We have a lot to learn, actually. Okay, tonight, after I'm done, I will be posting this in the Facebook group, our Royalty Facebook group, for those of you that might want to know exactly how to recreate my cards. Now, I didn't do this for Greta's cards or Marianne's cards, but for me personally, I went through all of the cards that I made with the Fall Fun kit, and I went through and I labeled, let me pull it up to the camera so you can see it a little better. I went through and I labeled all of the dies that I used from our foundation sets. And I showed you exactly how I laid out my card and exactly which paper I used. So if you're the type of person that would like to just be able to jump right in and say, hey, let's just make a bunch of cards, and I don't want to have to think of ideas. I just want to copy what I see. Well, if you want to recreate my samples, I went through and tried to make it easy for you. It's not like a die cutting guide. Like, I didn't like lay it all out so you can cut your paper special or anything. This is just, hey, if you're interested in just completely recreating Ginger's cards, I tried to make it a little bit easier, and I'll post that tonight, and I'm going to put it just in the file section, and it's just going to say Fall Fun Secret is in the PDF. It's just going to be a downloadable PDF. I'm not posting it as like a JPEG for everyone to see it until maybe later on. But for those of you that hang out with, that came tonight, are watching and making my life better by hanging out with me, this is your secret in the Facebook group. Go download it after we're done talking tonight if you're interested in recreating my cards. And if you're not, you do your own thing, no problem. But for those of you who might want it, go find that and enjoy. And thanks for hanging out. Okay. All right. I am apparently missing the joke in the comments. I'm going to have to go back and read all of this. Something funny must be going on, and I hope it doesn't mean that I'm embarrassing myself, but hopefully it's something else. You ladies are a lot of fun. Sometimes it's more fun to actually be live in the comments instead of live demoing, because I can actually talk to you guys a lot more. All right. So tonight, I'm going to be working with the Autumn Air Kit, and we are going to make an apple card together and hang out just for a little bit if you want to see a sneak peek at the end too. So I have lots of rewards for coming to the lives. And let's go ahead and get our pieces assembled. You can see I've done my pre-cutting to make this a little faster and easier for us. And let me get my pieces set out. And I did a little pre-stamping too, just so this won't take too long tonight. But I've also got my little extra pieces here because I had some small pieces. I didn't want to lose them. But let's put this card together. While I do that, tell me in the comments what one of your favorite fall things is. Is it a fall activity? Is it a food? Is it just being cozy in a warm sweater? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments, one of your favorite fall things. And I will try to read that and get to know you all a little bit better. Again, one of the fun things about doing a live together. Okay. Plus it gives me something to actually look at while I'm gluing, because getting around this new camera is kind of in my way a little bit. So if I bump it, I'm sorry, but learning to navigate new things. Hopefully it gives me a little bit better color. I was kind of, like I said, bugged about the white balance on my other camera, so I kept doing things to try to fix it and never quite turned out the way I wanted. Okay, so you can see I just cut from this fun kind of gingham or checkered background from the Fall Fun paper pad from that A2 die from set 8. Just a fun little background for our card here. And this is actually one of my favorite dies. It is actually from Foundation set number 1. And it is just kind of a great way to have a bold statement right across your card. And I don't use it as often as maybe I should, but once in a while I remember to pull it out. And I just love the way it just really breaks up the straight lines on a card and good visual impact in just one simple little die. Now we're going to add a little bit of those petite patterns poking out from behind where our centerpiece is. And we're going to follow the lines on that die from number 1. This die, I believe, is number 11. Or from set 11, one of those long sentiment strips, but also makes a great accent. And it just so happens to fit really beautifully right across that die from number 1. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through your comments for a second. Pumpkin bread and pumpkin lattes. Oh yes, pumpkin everything. But you liked it, Angela liked it before it was popular. Good for you, Angela. Rain out my studio window. Oh, Lorraine, send it this way. Pumpkin spice everything. Let's see, apple picking and making caramel apple jam. I'm going to Gilda's house. That's awesome. Beverly, it's in Tennessee. It is beautiful in the fall here, I bet. The fall colors are gorgeous. I love the cold weather too. It'll be a long time before it looks like fall around here. Usually it's about January before it looks like that. I'm in the Houston area, for those of you who don't know. And yeah, it takes a while. Okay, so I've got, this is from one of our newer sets, set 26. This is a great little accent home base for things that are large like shakers. I love that it has those fun little inward curved edges. It's a rectangle, but it's a fancy rectangle, right? Let's see, I want it up a little bit higher. About there. So you can see how fun it is now just to have those little accents peeking out behind, kind of breaking up the background, giving us some visual impact across our card, but yet not taking up a whole lot of room. It's always fun to have dies that can do that. And I, like I said, need to pull out those dies from number 1 a little more often because they look great. Okay, oh, and I forgot. I always needed to leave a little corner up because we have this fun little accent die. We're going to be putting a green apple on one side of our card. And I kind of wanted to balance that green color out just a little bit. So I have this fun little tab type die. We're going to glue that one down just right on the side there. Let me zoom in for you so you can see a little better. Let's see. Oh, wrong way. Let's try that. Might make it a little easier to see what I'm doing here. Okay, so that tab die here on the side, about there. Okay. So just to, like I said, to kind of complete the green color across the card. Okay, so now this particular apple is not going to be a shaker. So I'm actually just going to glue that green down onto the little kind of, I don't know if you can see it on camera now. This is like a pearlescent paper, maybe a metallic type paper in a cream. So it looks to me a lot like the juicy inside of an apple. So I thought it would be perfect for the center of our apples here, our sliced apples. So we'll just get some glue on there. I don't get glue on my hands so bad when I'm not doing it live, but when I'm doing it live and trying to work around an overhead camera and go fast, I get glue everywhere when I'm doing lives. Good thing it's washable. Usually by the time I'm done, I've got glue on my hands and glue under my fingernails. I think I didn't know what I was doing. And sometimes I don't still, but usually when I'm doing stuff off camera, it's a little easier to control the mess I'm making. Now that's just glue. I still make a gigantic mess everywhere else. You can see my desktop right now is pretty clean at the moment because I cleaned it up so I could do it live. But boy, I have a die cut station behind me, which I never show on camera, and there's a good reason for that. It's a total disaster because I was busy making all these fun fall cards for the past several days. And it still is in desperate need of a cleanup. But it might wait till next week. Okay, so here's our our 2 sliced apples. And I think I'm going to put one just a little higher than the other. But we need our seeds. So these are my small pieces in here. You can see I've already die cut out the stems. And then some flowers for decoration for later. And some leaves to go with the flowers. Let me pull those out. But then there you can see when you use the die, the stem die and the seed dies are connected. So you can run them all at once since you're usually using a similar color. And I'm going to grab a little tool to make this easier here. I use my stylus for a million things, but especially to push small things into position. So let me grab little dots of glue and we'll get our seeds on there. Okay. Nothing but burnt pumpkin. Oh yes, nothing but everything is great, but nothing but pumpkin is awesome. Who said that, Laura? A couple of you. Okay. D, yeah, you too. Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. Now you made me hungry. Let's see. Pumpkin spice. What else pumpkin spice do you ladies like? Or maybe we have some gentlemen with us. I'm not sure, but what other favorite foods do you guys have for fall? I really love just about anything pumpkin spice. I especially like it in my apple cider. When last time we had a live, I was a little bit sick. And that's one of my favorite things to do is get big cups of hot apple cider, shake a little pumpkin spice in there, maybe even a little extra clove. I really love clove, especially when I'm sick. And that makes my throat feel much, much better. Because one of those bad things about fall can be sometimes getting sick. Prefer to skip that part of fall. Okay, so there we go with our little seeds. You can see they're all just a little different from each other. That realistic look. And I'm going to put just 2 of them on this one because most of it isn't really going to show. we'll get a couple here on the side in case they peek out a little bit. So clove, yay or nay? Do you like cloves or the taste of clove? I even like the smell of cloves. I have some Bath and Body Works favorites that include cloves. They don't do too much that have cloves, but Winter is one of my favorite scents because it's heavy on the clove. But my daughter does not like it at all. not her favorite. So usually I wait till she's not around to burn my winter candle. Okay, so that's the stems. I'm going to hold off on the stems for a little bit. Well, no, I guess we'll go ahead. We'll glue them right behind. I was going to say we could glue them to the background, but just for simplicity's sake, I'll put a little drop of glue on the end of the stem, and we'll just glue it behind like this. You could glue it on front, you could glue it on the back. It just depends on the look you're going for. Okay. Good, I'm glad I'm not the only one who likes cloves, yes. Cloves in orange, yes, exactly. Heidi, you get me, yes. Definitely. I used to do that maybe as like a preschool kid, where you like took the orange and you took the cloves and you stuck it all inside the orange and it hung it up so it would smell good throughout the house. Maybe kindergarten, something like that. Okay, cute, huh? Like the sliced apples? Okay. So there are our 2 sliced apples, and I totally just realized that I did actually want to make this one a shaker, and I didn't. So bear with me just a second. I'm actually going to cut myself another red apple piece from the kit. So like I said, my die cut station's behind me, but I totally got busy gluing and wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to take my red paper and I'm going to cut another apple slice or apple frame, and I'll be right back because I'm afraid if I pull that one up, it'll probably not work too beautifully. Apologize for that. Usually I'm better at catching that before I get it all the way glued down. Okay. There we go. Okay, where's that again? So let me pull out, there's my acetate cover. See, I had it all planned. Okay. Let's pop that together. It won't matter that red one is already glued down, and our seeds are still going to show through the middle, because that's still exactly where we wanted them. Get that lined up a little better. Okay. There we go. Now we'll pop that out. Oh, it is showing that red a little bit. Okay. We'll back it up. Hold that thought for a minute. I will try to pull it off. We'll see how it turns out. You ladies distract me. Especially when we start talking about things like clove and fall and fun and pumpkin spice. All right. It's going to look a little ugly until I get it off, but no one will know once we're finished with the card. I think I say that every time I do a live, right? You'd be surprised how often there are mistakes that I have to fix. But it never looks that way at the end. That's the point of being a professional, right? Not that you never make a mistake, just that you know how to make it look like you didn't at the end. So pardon me while I get all the red off of this and get the edges inward a little bit. There we go. All right, we'll try that again. I'm going to pop the middle. Even when I have to redo the foam, I still try to pop that middle back in. It just really helps keep its shape. All right. Try that again. Okay. Oh, better. Not perfect, but better. Good enough. Okay. So now you can see that because I've got a sliced apple, I was just keeping it simple with the shaker toppings. I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch of diamonds in here. We're just going to let it sparkle like that juicy inside sliced apple that it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead and pull that off now, the liner on our foam, that is. And then my acetate cover right here, and I'm gonna, let me make sure I've got it right. I think it's symmetrical. Yep. Okay, there we go. Some of our shakers are symmetrical, some are not. So you can see from my bottom, it's not perfect, so I'm just going to grab my scissors and trim that up just a little bit before I get ready to add the top. There we go. We will flip it to the back side and trim it up just a little. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and get top glued on where it's supposed to be glued on. And then we'll actually have a juicy red apple slice. The way I intended in the beginning. There we go. All right. So you can see I didn't put a ton of diamonds in there, but just enough to give us some good sparkle and kind of reflect that juicy apple slice. And you could put lots of other things in there too, or you could do like Marianne and fill it full of a matching color to your apple. But I'm just going to keep it about like that. Something simple for tonight. All right, now at the bottom of our card, you can see I haven't glued that down yet because I wanted to make sure I had the right room for our little accent pieces down here for our sentiment. And I'm going to do something that I almost always do, which is pop them up with some foam tape. You can see my roll is getting smaller and smaller. It's almost time to break out a new roll because this will go fast, believe it or not. Okay. I really like to pop up my sentiment strips when possible if I've got a good shaker on them, on the card, because it helps to kind of, what's the right way to put it? Even out the height, maybe? If the shaker is the only popped up item on the card, it sometimes can feel slightly out of place. Now it depends. Depends on the card. But by adding other items that are also popped up, it really kind of helps just level all that out and keep it from feeling like it just sticks out a little bit, like a little bit more than you would want it to. I mean, they are shakers. They are fancy. We do want them to stand out a little bit. But part of the reason I use so much foam tape is just because I want it to be a little more even. Okay. Is that straight? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so now a little home for my sentiment strip right there. And like I said, I already stamped my happy fall, y'all. And again, I'm going to go with that foam tape just again. You know, my foam tape isn't anywhere near as thick as my regular foam in my shaker. So I can easily get away with another layer without having to worry about going higher than the shaker. And we'll just get a few pieces on the back there. And then the last thing we're going to add after the sentiment is just a little flower, just to give it a little extra pizzazz. And so you can see I used the fall foundation or flower foundations to cut out a few flowers. Now, of course, there are flowers in this particular kit, and you could use those, but I happen to already have some of these flowers cut out from when I was working with the Fall Fun kit. And so I thought, well, rather than pull out and recut, I'll just grab some of my leftover scraps, because it's always good to use up some of your leftovers, and pull those over to this kit and use them up here. Since we're using the same papers, that was an easy decision. Okay, I love how these two dies, you know, I did design them to be able to layer on top of each other intentionally, but I particularly love how it allows you to kind of get a busy paper and still have some of it show. Still not quite straight. I am so not used to a camera being in my way. We'll have to see. Let me know if you like this camera better than the other one. Clearly it's bugging me a little bit, but if it looks better, it's worth it, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, so now our apple's about there. Okay, get some of that extra glue from my fingers off. All right, so I like the placement of the apples. Let's go ahead and glue them together and then glue them down. Look how bad that looks from the back. I don't know, maybe you can't see on camera, but it kind of messed up from its earlier demise, but it'll look good on the card. Okay, so now those two together. And now onto the card. Really like the pearlescence of that metallic-y or pearl cardstock that I used. I don't know how well that's coming across on the camera, but in person it's really, really glimmery and pretty. Not quite glitter, but like shimmery. Okay, so there we go. There's our apples. Now we're gonna real quick assemble this flower, and again I'm going to use just a little tiny bit of foam tape that I already had cut. I'm going to layer these two pieces together. This particular flower die is a fun one, but I find that it looks a lot more like a full flower if you layer it in two pieces. We're just going to add it as a little accent just right here on top of our, right at the junction of our two apples. About there. Okay, and then we're going to put a little fun center. So this is kind of a funky flower. Probably not much like one you'd actually find in nature, but cute nonetheless, and it's going to help tie in our colors across the card from our background papers. Okay, to our apples. So I'm going to trim that leaf just a little bit so I can sneak it underneath the flower a little bit more. And then we'll glue that underneath. There we go. One more leaf. And we'll do the same thing with it, just trim it a little bit so it's easier to stick underneath. I do that a lot with leaves. That way they can be right underneath. Again, one of those things no one will know, right? So there we go. Let's add some bling to finish this out. And I've got some Queen & Company pearls right here. And the first thing I'm going to add is just something to the center of our flower, just to finish that flower off. And then up here in this upper corner, let's just get a little bit of bling here to, well, let's do it green first. And maybe one of these little reds. We kind of tie our colors all together across the card here. Let's do another big blue one. Where did you have it? Go here for starters. Not too particular about where the bling goes, as long as it just kind of gets scattered in a way that moves your eye across the card. You can see we've got our Z pattern again, helping move your eye across the card. But there we go. Simple. Oh, I guess that one's going to need a drop of glue. Thought we were all done, but our red pearl tried to escape. This set of bling I've had for quite a long time, probably more than 10 years, these pearls from Queen & Company. And because I had a lot of them at one point, and I love them, use them all the time, but that does mean the adhesive's just a little on the old side. So we'll let that dry, but there we go. There is our apple card. Very cute, huh? You can see how it turned out there was a shaker. So there we are. Okay, so you hung out with me this long. There's actually more of you on than earlier. Let me just do a quick little recap. If you want to pick up the Fall Fun Card Making Idea Guide, I'm about to go post that as soon as we sign off tonight. And I'll put that in the file section. So if you need to know how to get there, one, you're watching on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is a place where only we can post. It's our public page. Anyone can see it. Our royalty group, the Queen & Company royalty group, is a Facebook group where anyone that's in the group can post, okay? So it's going to be in there. So you're going to have to switch over to our group, Queen & Company royalty. And then if you're on mobile, you'll have to scroll through the options at the top. There's a couple of different little tabs, and it will say files. And if you're on a desktop, the same thing. Look for the different tabs at the top and click on files. This one should be right at the top, at least in a couple minutes once we're done. And look for the Fall Fun Secret will be the name of the file, okay? And then you can go grab this. Also, keep in mind there is a bunch of free with purchase items if you get over $100. If you're not using rewards, if you're not using discounts, then if you end up spending over more than $100, be sure and check out all the fun free with purchase items. And then last but not least, I did promise a sneak peek. So let me pull this out. Now, if you were part of watching our lives during the World Card Making Week, you already saw this one. This one is the Fun Ice Skates. Okay, and then here is one more of the many shakers in our upcoming Christmas kit. So this one has your fun little tree on top of the car. Isn't that fun? So that one is a second reveal from that particular kit. So hopefully that intrigues you. I'm very excited about our upcoming Christmas options, and there are several. We have an upcoming kit. We have another foundation set that is holiday themed, and we also have a shape shaker that we have not spilled any beans on yet. So keep in mind that there's more and more coming. Sandy, you wanted to know, will the file be up for a while? Yes, I'm going to leave it up there permanently. So it's not going to be like a short-term thing. It'll be in the files, as long as it needs to stay there. Any other questions before we go tonight from anybody? I'm going to try to catch them. I think Wendy's been on, so hopefully she's been helping answer your questions. Since you guys were chatty. We talked a lot tonight. All right, I don't see any questions. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and I hope that you will go check out all of the fun in the Fall Fun and Autumn Air kits. Have a wonderful night. Good night.